Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Confessions. Our first post is by Ready for Change. I'm quietly leaving him after 15 years due to his friend. My spouse, 35M, and I have been together for 15 years. For background, he has cheated in the past. When I was younger, I stayed because I was stupid and in love. As I got older, I stayed because of our kids and financial reasons. Around a year ago, I had just given birth and found out that he had been secretly talking to an old hookup of his. He said that he reached out to talk to her about personal emotional issues that he couldn't talk about with me. They had been talking since I was about 6 months pregnant. I know him well enough to know that it was most likely longer, and he swears it was just talking. I doubt that. I was only out of the hospital for a few days when I found out. I decided to work on it. He promised that he would delete her, block her, and never speak to her again. Fast forward to now, and yesterday, he admitted that she had texted him. Weird, considering she was supposed to be blocked. They had a convo catching up and then he stopped responding to her. In the past, I would get emotional, be hurting, crying, and lashing out verbally. This time I just went numb. I looked at him and realized that I no longer love him and probably haven't for a while. I know by his actions that he never loved me. It seems like it was completely innocent in this convo, but she was supposed to be blocked, and he promised to never speak to her again. He was so casual in telling me, almost like he hadn't done anything wrong, but he was wrong for talking to her and unblocking her. He was wrong for not making me feel safe and loved. I've been checking out for a while, but this was my moment that I knew he would never change. I would deal with this the rest of my life, and I would be teaching my kids that this behavior is okay. My daughters would learn to accept it, and my son would imitate the behavior. I refuse to accept that future. I'll make my own. Now I'm leaving him quietly. I'm saving all the money I can and getting myself set financially. I want to have a safety net to fall on when I'm on my own, and to make sure I'll be able to take care of my kids. It hurts to know I wasted so much time loving someone who doesn't love me, but I've accepted it. I know most people think I'm stupid for staying with him. I think I'm stupid too. He was the only one who acted like he loved me. I had no one else, no family or friends. I think he used that to his advantage to keep me around. I have no one to talk to about this and it's scary. So I had to tell someone, and why not an anonymous post, wish me luck. Our next post is by Consistent Credit. My son said something to my babysitter and it emotionally destroyed me. I, 26F, am raising 2 kids all on my own. My kids are fed, clothed, clean, go to daycare and have everything they need. But my babysitter told me something that has really dragged me down. I work full-time, clean, cook, grocery shop, take care of the kids, etc., all on my own. I have no time for myself, and what little time I have, I try to spend it with the kids. However, lately I've been very worn down. By the time I get my kids from their after-daycare babysitter at 5 p.m., I'm already mentally drained. Then as soon as I step foot into my apartment, I have to start getting the kids ready for dinner. Then bed if I want them to wake up refreshed for the day. I wake up to them fighting over everything. Toys, blankets, my phone, everything. I have to change 2 diapers, brush their teeth, groom them, feed them breakfast, and then get them on the bus by 7:45 a.m. From there, I have 45 minutes to pick up the house, get dressed, eat something, enjoy a cup of coffee, then go straight to work. I spend all day at work being yelled at by ungrateful people over $5 fees when they have over $500,000 in their accounts. Go home and do the same thing all over again. My son, 4 months, has been asking for me to read to him a lot, but by the time I sit down till I'm so tired from my day I can't keep my eyes open. I can tell this disappoints him, and it kills me every time I tell him no. But I'm only one person and can only do so much. My kids constantly hang on me, grabbing at my arms, legs, hair, feet, anything they can do to touch me. They're always asking me for things they know how to do on their own, like getting a toy 2 inches from their hand. My daughter, 2F, is always crying. You can look at her and she cries. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I love my children and I would do anything for them, but I'm tired. I have no help. My mom is sick and doesn't help much even when she's feeling well. My dad is an alcoholic and can't be trusted with them alone. My son's father lives in Texas and only recently started talking to me again. However, it's almost never about his son. My daughter's father, anytime I try to reach out to him, it's all about his problems and how bad things have gotten for him. I have my daughter's side of the family, but I don't want to ask too much of them. They all have their own lives and can get stressed out if I ask too much of them. The other day, my babysitter told me that my son wishes I would read more to him. It tore my heart out to know how I'm making him feel that way. And my daughter, although she can't express it yet, how I know the disappointment she feels when I ask her to stop touching me and to give me some space. I feel like a failure to my kids. Every day I wake knowing what the day brings and knowing that by the end of it all I'll be crying myself to sleep, knowing I didn't do enough. Knowing I didn't have the time once again to read to my babies. Knowing I was too physically uncomfortable being touched at the moment my kids wanted to cuddle. Knowing that every time my daughter cries I want to cry myself because of how overwhelmed I feel. I don't know what to do. There's just not enough time in the day for everything, and I know my kids are the ones suffering for it. Update. I have read over your suggestions and am going to manage my time a lot better. I fell into a deep rut and shut down, and I think I needed all the kind words I had here today to pull me out of it. I'm currently talking to my doctor about new medication and working on creating a better schedule for myself and my children. I have also taken the most recommended option and going to start recording myself reading some stories on my kids' tablets so I can sit down and listen with them. I also am going to take better care of myself and make time for myself as well. Again, thank you so much for all of your kind comments and support. You have no idea how much it's made me feel better about myself and helped me be motivated to reflect on myself and parenting to be better for my family. You guys are awesome. Our next post is by Thy Name is Anxiety. I can't tell my customers that the espresso they're drinking is actually decaf. This week, I'm training as a barista in a coffee shop so I can get extra hours. I actually really like the job, and while it can be hectic at times, it can be kind of fun. Yesterday, I found out that we ran out of regular espresso beans, which was a problem since most of our drinks needed espresso. At first, I was told to tell customers we were out of it and offer other options, but this made people upset and drove business away. So my boss eventually told me just to use decaf espresso and not tell customers about it. According to my boss, we're completely out of regular espresso and probably won't get any more for a few days due to shipping delays. So to avoid conflict, we have to use our decaf instead. I'm an honest person, and it bugs me to keep my mouth shut about it. I even told this to my parents, and they were really upset that I would lie to people about this, and warned me that eventually someone would figure out the difference. I feel so guilty about it, but at the same time, there's not much I can do. A coffee shop without caffeine is like a bakery that doesn't sell bread and wouldn't look good for my company. But lying is also something that goes against my morals, and I just feel wrong staying quiet. All I can do is add extra espresso and hope it makes it a bit stronger, but it's all I'm able to do. I wonder if this is something other coffee shops do. I've never worked in one before, so I don't know the common problems a coffee shop would deal with or if they would have to make a choice like this. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.